All right. I hope we're going through. I think everything's good now. I tried to say in the last video, I just got a new computer and I'm just trying to set everything up. I lost my cool design, my interface for these streams, but that just means I'm going to make a new one or make it really simple like this. But I will be showing my mug a little bit more after this, so hopefully I'll be getting a better camera as well. But I'm finally able to start back up and get these prophecies read. So today I want to I'm going to share the two that I'm working on this month. So we're halfway through. So it's the 15th of March, and these are March's two vines. And the one I'm working on, I'll show you, is in the pandemic area, and it looked like the last one was about the how we've solved the pandemic through not just cooperation but the mRNA, the approach using that. That's it seems like it was brand new, but it actually they've been working on it for years. That's how they were able to use it so quickly. But that was the last one in the pandemic, or more about the COVID, and then it's ending with this one piece that I'm working on now. But I'm like, really, that's been pushed aside because of the war and inflation, all this stuff that's going on. But I think they just started talking about this new variant. I've been saying that there will be new variants. This isn't over, but I'll show you this. I'm trying to read it for what it is, and then the other one, unfortunately, I know what it's talking about too, and both of them are pretty tough. They're tough to just taking all this in. It's a time where a lot of people are scared, and rightfully so. But reading these pieces and creating them helps me for sure cope with everything, because I mean, knowledge is a good thing to have, even though maybe sometimes you don't want to listen. But being able to create these while I'm doing unbiased, multi-perspective research has helped me get a grasp on things. And while it's not comforting, the possible outcomes, it's still it's good to know. You want to prepare mentally, physically, economically. So I think it's. I hate reading these and when they're bad news and all this, but like I said, it's my purpose is to inform, and I'm just an artist doing my thing, so I could be wrong, but that's what these are. I'm reading them. They're linking together. They're telling a story, but they're also kind of giving some warnings about the future. So with that said, let's get to this. I had to set up my Streamlabs again, like I was saying. So it's there we go. Okay, and I'll stay in the corner. Before I hated staying on film and being on camera, but I am going to stay on. Okay, so this one is the one I'm working on now. If this was 2 months ago, I believe this one finished, and it talks about, so if you ever want to see what the vines talk about, if you go to the grapevine.com or grapevinewall.com, and you explore the vines. So we're in chapter 3. So 1 and 2 are done. Chapter 3 is what we're in. 2 vines are done each month. And the one that I'm drawing next to, called Messengers. So it's the mRNA. It talks about how we've been able to really get a hold of the pandemic and create these vaccines in a year instead of 10 years. But it's a brief explanation of that. It's actually been around, and it's being used for other things. So heart conditions and all types of other medical reasons for using the messenger RNA approach, and it's huge. So it's going to be a huge thing in the future, how we deal with most diseases and even eradicating them because of this. So that's what that one was, and it comes off the variant. This one's called variant, and it kind of looking like it's fizzling away here in this area. So remember, it's above the cryptocurrency area, kind of entangled in both the global brain and the environmental representation by the green, the green vines. But this global brain going into it tells me, yeah, we're able to use these new technologies, AI and everything, to start creating these drugs. So really good one, positive one. And this one, I was wondering what it is, because it pretty much closes this whole thing, the pandemic thing. But if you look at it, they've been drawing these little extra bubbles. They've been grabbing them out, and I didn't know if it was these guys over here, because this is pretty much the messengers pointing out the bad cells. So that was a good thing. But these are a little different, and it's looking like they're showing there's this new variant, and I've been wondering that for the past 15 days, and I guess they just announced, China's locking down again, closing down productions. That's going to totally mess with the supply chain again, and they've closed everything. It's just halted. And so it's either, they've always done that. Even if there's one case, they'll close everything. But I don't know. It's it affects the whole world and the supply chain. And there could be conspiracies out of this saying, well, they are going to be dealing with Russia, which could really hurt us, even though we're saying, you better not, or you're going to get it. China probably laughed at that. There's a strategic plan for what's going on, and I don't know if I might get into those really high, not conspiracy theories, but pretty possibilities for sure. But so China locking down because of this new variant is a little scary, because that's almost what this one's talking about, and going forward, I kind of scribble what it's turning into. It's looking like there's these puddles coming further, and actually not stopping. It's always around, even up there and even up into this area once I get there. But we'll see what that means. But right now it looks like it's bubbling up again, right? It's this, I don't know if it's bubbling back up or it'll go away. It looks like it's going to do that, another surge right here, and then this big one over here. I don't know if it's talking about the cryptocurrency and COVID going into, here's this green right here representing the environment and the climate. So it looks like it's strangleholding or infecting or combining with and working together. We'll see what that means. For the moment, I'm concerned about this area, and then, well, obviously, this whole area down here. And if you haven't seen the video about this area, definitely check it out on. I think YouTube's the best way to look at these, because Facebook's weird in the first place. But I'm trying to collect them all somewhere, and the YouTube account. Just go to Craig Tilley on YouTube, and that's where it's streaming all of them right now, that's what's great about Streamlabs. It's streaming this to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So I'm going to keep it on YouTube for all these. So number 2 that I'm working on, so I always work on 2 separate. They don't touch because they're growing out from each other. So the other one I'm working on is right up here. And, I don't want to do that. I want a magnifier. This one right here. Another one that I'm like, what is this? Like, what is it saying? Because here, let me turn off the black. See, I'll turn off the grid. Well, let's keep the grid on for now. So, uh, this whole area coming into it, this talks about all the, uh, the I call it the thought bubble, the bubbles that we're getting into, and conspiracy theory. This is a pirate. That's all linked together. The conspiracy, which means these pirates are invading and hijacking our minds with their conspiracies, which is causing more havoc. But we don't like the red, and the red's kind of going into the environment, the green right here, and coming out. Now, purple's good because it's knowledge, it's wisdom, it's where we want to be. That we want to be the grapes, and every time it seems like we start getting better, things come in and start jumbling it up. And I think what this is talking about right here, this whole area, so especially this one, is how and right now I have one that I'm working on. So I work on these on the iPad. So I have I had this just open. So it's actually drawn a lot farther. I just got back into town and had it with me. But he's kind of holding on to these what do you call it? Smokestacks. So always representing the fossil fuel industry and our reliance on the energy. So unfortunately, this one, I've never seen the fossil fuel in the green. It's always somewhere else. So my thing is here is what's going on is we're seeing, we're being shown how reliant we are on fossil fuels. That we try to sanction the war, and then we have to make more or buy it from other places. Because we are so dependent on it. So we're trying to convert to a green way of life, but we're not doing it. None of the countries. And then during war, when we're sanctioning off, it's like, oh, yeah, we can't. If we're punishing ourselves, and Americans are not going to give up their consumption, the way they live. It's these other countries are. I mean, look, Putin's getting his people ready for what we're all going to experience. We can't live the way we've been living, and Americans are the worst because our currency, that's the main currency, and then we were able to use that to buy cheap stuff everywhere else, and now they've got all our money and we've got a bunch of crap that we just keep piling our houses up with. And now they have the resources. Russia has the resources. China has the production. And we are the buyers. So for over the years, it's been great. But it's shifting. And they know it. And this whole thing that's happening now, we're in the revolution in Chapter 3. I don't know why I called it that 5-6 years ago when I created this. But it's where we are and what's happening. So I didn't think this, I thought this would be a slow progress, and it might be. This might blow up and then shrink back down before it blows back up again, but it is coming. And to see it so quick is scary, because I'm sitting here reading it and understanding it, and then I'm like, wait, I'm not preparing for it, and I'm not preparing anyone else. So that's where we are here. It's showing that this whole push to green energy and everything that's going on to try to halt the destruction of our planet it's so fragile that this right here has knocked it off its keel, even though it wasn't even on its way. We've been so far behind our predictions, and we've been behind on our approaches to fixing it, and we haven't been correct on how fast it's happening. It's actually happening a lot quicker. So there's a lot of things playing against us, and we don't have the time to change anymore. We don't. So it's adaptation. And that's what this is talking about. And I don't know. I found a group, and I don't know how I just found them. They're called Deep Adaptation. It's from a professor's paper, and the premise is, people will say that they're fatalists. They're saying that the fact that they understand that there could be a major collapse of the economy. Not even could be. It's going to happen. It's just how severe. And people won't listen to them because they think they're what do you call it? Where you're you're hyping things up, or conspiracy theories. They think it's that we're overthinking it and over worrying at the same time the rest of the world is pretending it doesn't exist, or finding out ways to help themselves because they know it's coming. And this whole green revolution isn't quite as easy as we thought. And remember, I'm a climate reality leader. I started this whole project based on that. I started this on a plane going to become a climate reality leader, understand the environment, and talk about it. And that's led me to researching companies, and then researching where we're going, and now researching where we're headed. And I'm telling you, where we're headed right now is pretty scary, and that's in all sectors. I mean, we're talking the economy, the social impacts. We're not going to be buying like we used to. We can't. We're either going to buy like we always do and consume, or we're gonna stop, and we're gonna think how to really spend our money, which is going in and putting that money into rebuilding the whole structure of how we earn money, how we trade with the world, how the world sees each other. And you know how long that takes? We don't even want to do it. Even if we wanted to do it all, we couldn't do it. So there's hard times ahead, and deep adaptation is basically just preparing for that. And I've gotten closer and closer to that over I'd say the year and a half. And now it's inevitable. It's hard for me to talk about, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, or the messenger of the bad news, because that's not who you want to be, and you don't want to have people think about it. And I don't think everyone should listen if they don't want to. If you're good about doing your thing, and just maybe preparing a little bit, I would hope, then yeah, do it. There's definitely I don't want to be scaring people. It's my point is to inform and just help you see what I see, because I'm the same way. I'm sitting here reading this stuff, and I prepare, but even this past year, or this year to date, I knew it was coming, but I held off because I didn't want my taxes to be different, because I was investing or whatever. So I'm like, oh, I'll wait till January. And then this all started in November, and then just deep dive all the way. And that's where you think, okay, it's too late. Like cryptocurrency, everyone said, oh, it's too late, I'm not getting in. And I had seen it coming for years, so I was able to get in. And I'm out mostly, and just because I knew there would be a trough. And then now what's happening here is I really read the wall, and I said, you know what, I'm going to listen to you, wall. I'm going to do what you say. So I actually sold all my Bitcoin, but remember, I've bought it at $700, and I've made, even if it doubles tomorrow, I'll still be well off before it even goes to the highest point, because I've already done that. I did that. I bought in years ago and sold out high, except for some this year, but it still was you got to cover your butt. So anyway, I looked at this, and I see something weird just happening, and this big explosion. And if you saw the last video, I thought the explosion was from the electrolytes, or the electrolyzers, that's what this one's called, and creating the need for energy, and then making Bitcoin less viable for countries, especially for the United States, to actually allow Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, especially Ethereum and Bitcoin, to continue, because it's so energy intensive that it actually you need energy to create green hydrogen and all that. Well, it was that it's going to compete for energy, but it's the war. So I was hoping this wasn't going to be a nuclear bomb, and that's what's going to blow things up and then come back around. But I don't think it's a nuclear bomb. It's the threat of one, maybe. It's the explosion of the need for energy because of the energy crisis. But the actual bomb itself, I'm hoping that's not it. I don't think it is. There is a lot going on here. Like it has a nuclear bomb and things are melting. That sucks. I'm looking more environmental costs, saying we're past the point of no return, and then what is going to help us live through this time and build something different. And that's what all this is. That's this next wave. So if you remember this wave, this is just chapter 2 and 3, but this wave coming from the left hand side is that first wave of technological advancements and then the all the ideas that came out of it, and then COVID hitting right here, and then this new wave of Web3 and interconnection and 5G, all this coming down and smothering. It's looking like down here, but I don't know. It's igniting to me. There's some red popping out over here. This was the whole climate concern that we were in. So it's almost going from orange to red level, right? So, and then chapter 4, if I had that open, you would see what's going on outside of this, and I won't get into that one because that one's scary, but it does show promise as well. But that's where we are right here. So right here, to recap, it's showing this month that we are witnessing our dire need for fossil fuels, and that right there shows how it's going to be very, very tough to transition into a green economy in time and keep us below the 1.5. Below the 1.5, let's just hope we just get to stay at 1.5, because that's not going to happen. And I don't know when the scientists are going to start saying that. They don't want to cause alarm, and I don't want to cause alarm either. But alarm should ring, and I don't have that many viewers. Maybe I will, but I don't want to alarm everybody, but the ones who want to be alarmed or just knowledgeable, that's what is a big possibility, and that's just what these things are showing us. It's the possibility of where the story can go, because that's what I'm doing. I'm creating the story as we go, and right now that looks like it's not a great position that we're in. And from that, there is a lot of purple coming. Those might change colors by the time I get up there. I'm doubting it. But there is some knowledge. There's this burst of knowledge. I don't really see any purple anymore on top, but it's coming from down here. So it will, this will evolve. I come back and I draw on that part, but then I draw on these pieces as well for each month. So I'm working on just 2 each month. Oops, that talks about what's actually going on in our time. Where's the there it is. There's the grid. So as you see, that's where that grid goes. And I gotta use my magnifier. Yeah, and then that's how far we got to go after this. So this chapter is done in I forgot the month. It's 2024. I think it's early 20. It might even be January 2024. But that's when this one will end, and we get into the rebuild. So right now we're in the revolution. Very scary one. The rebuild. It seems like these. The transition. It's not instant. It transitions. So about halfway through is where it really starts getting crazy, and that's the same thing with what happened in chapter 2 here. In the middle, that's when the pandemic started hitting, and that was where, because this one's called the Awakening. So you had that first wave of awakening, technological awakening, and then you had the COVID, the pandemic awakening, and then that took us into this square right here, chapter 3, which is the revolution, which that's what we're seeing right now, getting more and more intense. So this revolution part right here, the first one, was crypto, was Web3. This big talk about that, and it blends together. So that's still going. It's looking like crypto is. Oh, I hope I'm still on. Sorry, guys. Well, I can't see myself anymore. Just want to make sure you can see me. Yay! Hi. I think I'm still on. The waves, everything still is merging together, but it intensifies. So there's multiple revolutions going on in each of these, multiple awakenings, and then the revelation. There was multiple revelations, and that was mainly about putting climate change in the spotlight. And now we're getting into we're halfway through chapter 3, and we're halfway through this month. So I think I can end there. I don't have anyone coming in. So if you see this and you want to talk live, I can't see the chats because my eyesight, but I can. I have open. Do I still have it open? Yeah. So I have this open. This is the war room. This is where we there's a game we can play, but it's where we discuss topics and things like that. You can get on the TVs and share your screen. Let's see if I can share my face on both of these, or if I'm gonna crash. Woo! See, I can share the screens. So let's just put this on the wall. See if that works. Oops. Look at that. So I can share screens, or anyone else can come here and give a talk, and we can all listen and discuss. But while I'm doing these broadcasts, you can come in here, and I can hear you live, and you can hear me. In fact, let me turn my microphone on, and anyone who comes in, you will be live. So a lot of people don't like that, but you know what? Who cares? It's okay. We're all family here. And we don't know who you are. You can put guest. You can put in any name you want. So no worries. I love to talk to people online in real time, and that would be great if you can come in. And yeah, if you haven't been around, it's really cool. You can come in here. You can go into other rooms. Here's the wall where it is. Actually, I got to update it, but that's where we are. There's the top of it, and then will be a bottom, and it will wrap around and become a square. You can fly in here. Let me turn on fly mode. So you can turn on fly mode and you can come check out these things. This is what one of them looks like when they're augmented. It's this guy right here. Oh, way at the bottom. We're far. Oh yeah, there's the cube. But that was right here. So if you point your phone right there, it'll animate like that. And it has sound and all that. But I don't know if sound comes in this one. Yeah, I didn't bring in the sound. So that's a fun area, and while you're playing around, you can talk. I'm going to do a hidden game right here. So this will be like one of the cards. So you got to find the cards, and do some observe connect. So basically, it's learning how to observe, connect, create, and collaborate. So those are all. That's what the card game's based on. Well, that's what the whole project's based on. The whole project's based on leveling up humanity so we make the decisions that we should be making in this time of crisis. It's not, hey, we need to have more electric cars on the road. We need to do this. Everybody's telling us what we need to do, but we need to have solutions and being presented to instead of people just saying, this is what we need to do, go vote on it. It should be like, here's my plan, I've put this together, this is what it'll do. And I know a lot of companies are doing that, but that's not really in the political realm, and it's more about how are we going to conquer or save ourselves from being conquered. And especially now with the war, this is all being shown. Now we're being shown of what's really happening, and we have to pay attention, unfortunately. And this is my way of trying to help us pay attention. So if you understand that we have to start talking about this, or that we are, if you want to actually understand more what's going on, then yeah, please subscribe, I guess, to Facebook or the YouTube channel or Instagram. If you look for The Grapevine Wall and Craig Tilley, or just Craig Tilley, you'll find it. So please follow along, because the more people that follow, the more it gets me up in the morning and keeps me going on this. This is a very long project. If you go to the website, you can go right here, project details. This is 6,000 days, and that's this is the weird part. And I did a video on this. I think it was the last video, because I was like, oh, I was shocked. I couldn't understand. I was like, wait, what? But the exact day that I went on that flight, and that's how I know what day I started this, was the July 29th, 2013. That was the exact day. I know the flight number, 1970, U.S. Airways. I have it in my writings, and it was about, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, not even, that I was like, all right, I got to know. I knew it was about 16 years, 16 and a half, 17 years. So I was just like, 17-year long project. So I went into a calculator online and said, how many years is it between July 29th, 2013, and when this project ends. The last piece is done on January 1st, 2030, and it's 6,000 years. 6,000 days, which is the Bible year, or the Bible day. God built the world in 6 days and rested on the seventh, and the coming of the of God to basically judge us and deal with us is that 6,000th day. So that's what was crazy. So this is it's not only it's a long project, but it is it's been guiding me. That's why it's that flow. When I'm drawing, I'm zoomed in really close and just drawing with the lines because of my eyesight. I have to hold it really close. So that's how I'm drawing, and I'm just following the flow. I'm like, okay, just tell me what I need to be doing, and I just go with it. And I always thought that was crazy cool, but every time I'm like, wait, why did I come up with the 5 chapters? And how many days? Oh my God, 6,000. It's crazy. So yeah, here's our time period. So this is counting down. So of that 6,000, there's only 2,849 left until the project ends, until we end the final chapter, or final exam is that chapter 5. So chapter 1 is the Revelation. Chapter 2 is the Awakening. Chapter 3 that we're in right now is the Revolution. Chapter 4 is the Rebuild, which I don't know what we're rebuilding from, but that's going to be that's scary already, what we're rebuilding from. So I think these next couple years are going to be really tough. And then through the Rebuild is chapter 5, the final exam. That's the final chapter, and that'll be on the top. That'll be right here on top of the cube, and the floor is actually going to be a mirrored, not the exact mirror of it, but one's going to be created on top and one at the bottom at the exact same time. So it's almost like this is what's happening, and this could have been if we chose this route or if we did it a different way, and that's how I see those working, and it's going to be pretty wild to see the difference of where we actually are heading or decided to head, and where we could have on the floor. And in 2,849 days, you too will find out. Oh, so it's gonna be a long one, and I'm just, the more people on the ride, the better. I appreciate everybody's the time who actually takes the time and support for buying the artwork, buying the card game, just interacting, sharing it. All that helps, and I hope it helps everybody through these times too. But we just need to get together, talk about it more, and share what we all are experiencing. So, and I'll be doing more of it. So I will be seeing you guys a lot sooner than later. And I just want to be able to make videos where I give you not just entertainment, but information and knowledge, wisdom. And I don't want to just come on here for no reason. So any suggestions people have as well, I will take them. But for that, I will take off. Love you all.